Welcome to Fitness Over 50's At Home Exercise video. Accessories that you may need for these exercises are hand weights, resistance tubing, a medicine ball, or you can get creative and use gallon water jugs, soup cans, or reusable grocery bags filled with canned goods to provide weight and resistance. Let's start out with some light warm-up exercises. Perform each movement for 10 seconds. With arms out to the sides, perform some small arm circles. Make sure to switch directions. Next, shrug and roll your shoulders. Again, switch directions. Next, perform some windmills forward. Now switch to a backstroke. Transition to a march in place, bringing your knees up nice and high. Now kick your heels up behind you, wiggling your fingers out in front. Tap the heels out in front while circling your wrists. And perform a swing and sway side to side. Now we'll move on to some stretches. Hold each stretch for 10 to 15 seconds. Interlock fingers and push palms forward. Reach back behind you, standing up nice and tall, and gently push back. Reach around and give yourself a hug. Next, reach up as high as you can and go up on your toes and back on the heels. Place your hands on one thigh, lunging over to that side. And switch sides. Now take a small step out with one leg, keeping it straight. Slightly bend the opposite knee and lean over your straight leg. Make sure to switch sides. Okay, find something to lean up against. Keep your back heel on the ground, bend your front knee, and bring your hips forward. Again, make sure to switch sides. Reach back for your ankle or pant leg, trying to point the knee as straight down as possible. And switch sides. Now we will move to some strength training exercises. Perform each exercise for between 10 and 15 repetitions. To increase difficulty, perform the routine 1 to 3 times. Sit to stands. Sit towards the front edge of your chair with feet roughly shoulder width apart. Lean forward over your toes, pushing through your legs to a full upright standing position. Make sure to control yourself on the way back down to avoid flopping in the chair. To increase difficulty, Place your arms straight out in front of you, or use something like a hand weight, medicine ball, or any object around the house that you can safely use to add resistance. Modified push-up. Place your hands on the edge of a countertop and take a few steps backwards with your feet. Slowly lower yourself towards the countertop before pushing back to your starting position. To increase difficulty, step farther away from the countertop or use something lower like the arm of a couch or a chair. Overhead press. Sit nice and tall in a chair with the back straight and hands at shoulder height. Push weights up overhead before slowly returning to starting position. To use resistance tubing, hold a handle in each hand, placing the tubing underneath you on top of the chair. Once again, start with hands at shoulder height, pushing up overhead and slowly returning to the starting position. Tubing pull. Loop your tubing around the leg of a sturdy table or the post of a railing. Step back so that the tubing is taut with your arms straight out. Pull your elbows in towards you, squeezing your shoulder blades at the finish. Knee bends. Stand with your fingertips on the edge of a counter or table. Slowly sit back, performing a half squat. Toe raises. Holding on to something for balance if needed, raise up as high on the toes as you can. To increase difficulty, switch to 1 foot at a time, or stand on the edge of a step with your heels hanging off. Lower your heels as low as you can before pushing up as high as you can. Again, increase difficulty by moving to one leg at a time. Side raise. Stand nice and tall with arms resting at your sides. Slowly raise the weights to just under shoulder height. Instead of directly out to the side, try to bring your arms slightly forward. The same thing can be done with tubing. Hold one handle in each hand and step on the middle of the tubing with 1 foot. Straight leg lifts. Sit on the floor with legs straight, hands behind you, and lean slightly back. Point the toes back towards you and keeping your leg as straight as possible, alternate leg lifts. To increase difficulty, sit up straighter. Triceps pushback. Bend forward, placing one hand on a chair, keeping your back in a straight line. Raise your elbow up to your side. Keeping your elbow in a fixed position, push the weight back, straightening out your arm. Biceps curl. Stand in an upright, straight position with arms at your sides. Keeping your elbows fixed, bend your arms up before lowering back to starting position. Bridge. Laying on the floor or a mat, bend your knees, keeping your feet flat on the floor and arms at your sides. To activate your core, push your lower back into the mat. To help with this, place one hand between your low back and the floor. Actively contract your abdominal muscles, pushing down against your hand. Remove your hand from underneath your back and once again engage the core muscles, pushing the low back to the floor. Hold that position and slowly lift your hips up off the floor. Plank. Laying in a prone position on the mat or floor, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders with hands apart. Slowly raise up on your knees and elbows, activating your core by drawing your belly button back to your spine. To increase difficulty, raise up all the way on your toes and elbows, continuing to keep core activated. Hold for 30 seconds to a minute or as long as you can. Balance exercises. Perform these movements next to a table or chair if needed for stability. Feet together with eyes closed. Stand nice and tall with feet close together. Close your eyes. Heel-toe stance. Place one foot directly in front of the other, standing up nice and tall. If you need more of a challenge, close your eyes. Remember to switch feet. One leg stance. Making sure you have something to steady you if needed. Bring one foot up off the floor, balancing as best you can. Again, you can close eyes to increase difficulty. Hold each balance exercise for 20 to 30 seconds. Thank you for watching. I hope this simple exercise program helps keep you active when you are unable to attend the gym.